We're getting you this big story. I'm Sneha Mordani and we're staying with Israel and India's deals, mega deals that have been signed in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's historic Israel visit. A total of 27 outcomes from Modi-Bibi bilateral. India-Israel have signed total 16 agreements, total of 11 announcements that have been made by both the leaders, from agriculture, like we just heard, to artificial intelligence, to the much anticipated conversation around defense deals. Several conversations have happened. Several deals have been inked. Prime Minister calling for peaceful resolution in West Asia. That also is a top focus at this hour. The world looking at the intervention and also on what the Prime Minister would say on the troubled times that we're seeing in this particular region. Modi, in fact, the Prime Minister has said, and I'm going to quote, "Humanity can't be victim of conflict." It's a big message. India has big stakes in West Asia peace, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister calling for a dialogue for diplomacy to end this long-standing dispute, which has only escalated over the last few months that we've seen. I'm going straight across to Pranay Upadhyay, getting in more details. I'm going to talk to you about that crucial statement from, in fact, the Prime Minister on the peace in West Asia in just a moment from now. Also bringing in Shivani in this conversation. But to you first, Pranay, talk to us about the significance of the MOUs that have been signed by India and Israel today. These are deliverables that we were all looking at, isn't it?
Wide-ranging issues, wide-ranging
Yes.
subjects covered in the delegation-level talks, the bilateral talks between Prime Minister Modi and Benjamin Netanyahu. Then, if you see the list of the outcomes, from agriculture to artificial intelligence, this is the wide spectrum of partnership with which India and Israel would be sharing and elevating their partnership into a special strategic partnership, which will open new opportunities for Indian companies to bring Israeli technologies, to implement them, to give them scale, for opening up opportunities for Indian professionals to go and work in Israel. So much more to come, and we have to see the joint statement, which is likely to come in a while, which will give out more details, more concrete deliverables. But if you see what India and Israel are trying to build here, they are trying to build a win-win partnership here, because India needs Israeli technology and innovation. Israel has proven track record about their innovation, their technology, and India brings skill and scale on the table. Israel needs India to amplify its production capability, its production capacity, and Israel has been partnering, and they would want to partner furthermore with an FTA, which is likely to be concluded by end of this year, to bring more goods and services trade between these two countries, to bring more Israeli technology in India. And if you see the center of excellence in cybersecurity, a center of excellence in artificial intelligence, bringing Israeli techniques to bring or to implement the artificial intelligence in the school curriculum. In fact, establishing not establishing the excellence centers, but rather establishing excellence villages. So that is a new concept which has come after these delegation-level talks, that India and Israel will jointly establish the excellence villages in India, which will work as a role model for the Israeli technology and their implementation. From water technology, water conservation, for the desalination technology, to artificial intelligence, to quantum computing, to cutting-edge technology, the critical and emerging technology, the modern technologies which are rapidly changing, be it artificial intelligence, be it the drone technology, be it the machine learning, be it robotics. So these are the new areas. And ensuring the supply lines. Cybersecurity has also emerged as a very important area. And if you see how India and Israel have also worked out an arrangement that Indian UPI, Indian digital payment system, would also be implemented, will work in Israel. And that is also a very important area which both countries have agreed to work upon. And in fact, this will help to build a more stronger people-to-people partnership, because more Indians will be able to travel Israel and they will be able to make those payments using their UPI applications.
Pranay, be with us. I'm going to come back to you in a moment from now, listening to what the Prime Minister said as far as this meeting is concerned.
Friends, हमारे people-to-people ties, हमारे संबंधों का एक महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ है। 2023 में हुए मैन पावर मोबिलिटी एग्रीमेंट के माध्यम से भारत ने इजरायल के कंस्ट्रक्शन और केयर गिवर सेक्टर्स में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है। भारतीय कामगारों ने अपनी मेहनत, प्रतिबद्धता और कौशल से विश्वास अर्जित किया है। मुझे खुशी है कि इस सहयोग का विस्तार कॉमर्स और सर्विसेज जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी किया जा रहा है। दोनों देशों के युवाओं, रिसर्चर्स और इनोवेटर्स को जोड़ना हमारी मुख्य प्राथमिकता रही है। इस दिशा में आज हम इंडिया इजराइल एकेडमिक फोरम की स्थापना कर रहे हैं। फ्रेंड्स, आज हमने क्षेत्रीय एवं वैश्विक मुद्दों पर भी व्यापक चर्चा की। क्षेत्रीय कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ावा देते हुए हम इंडिया मिडिल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर IMEC और इंडिया इजराइल UAE USA यानी I2U2 पर नई गति से आगे बढ़ेंगे।
All right, we're going across live now to this press conference, which is being held by Bikram Mistry. Let's take a listen.
Center in Jerusalem and laid a wreath in memory of the victims of the Holocaust. It was a solemn occasion where the Prime Minister paid his respects together with Prime Minister Netanyahu. The two leaders toured the Hall of Names and the Children's Memorial and participated in a memorial ceremony in the Hall of Remembrance. Thereafter, the Prime Minister had the opportunity to call on the President of Israel, His Excellency Mr. Isaac Herzog, and the two leaders also planted an oak tree in the presidential garden in honor of Prime Minister Modi's Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam initiative, a tree for mother. Prime Minister then held delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Netanyahu, which, as I mentioned, have just concluded a short while ago. The talks gave both leaders the opportunity to go through the entire spectrum of the India-Israel strategic partnership. It was agreed to deepen further our relationship in a wide array of sectors, including science and technology, innovation, research, critical and emerging technologies, cybersecurity, agriculture, water, defense and security, trade and economy, people-to-people exchanges.
All right, we'll continue to get you more on that story that we're tracking very closely. Now, we're shifting focus at this point in time. Once celebrated for its glamour, fast pace and cinematic sheen, Mumbai now finds itself battling a worsening air pollution crisis. As the air quality index levels spike and residents and prominent citizens complain of breathlessness and poor visibility, the city of dreams is confronting an uncomfortable question. Is it becoming the next Delhi in terms of toxic air? My colleague Sonal has spoken to prominent Mumbaiker and actor Sayami Kher about the choking maximum city and whether clean air really is becoming too much to ask for. Listen in.
So far, we've been speaking about pollution in the national capital. We've done aggressive coverage on that, got you some facts, got you some solutions as well. But it's time that as Delhi breathes in the spring air, we have some relief. But our friends in Mumbai are facing the brunt of AQI. And one particular person who actually brought it to the forefront, and I'm so glad that she did, is Sayami Kher. She joins us now live for more details on this. Sayami, firstly, thank you for highlighting the matter. Thank you for saying what we've been trying to put out for so long. And thank you for acknowledging perhaps what we in Delhi have been facing for so long, feeling trapped inside your own home. It's like a pandemic that already exists and we just don't know about it. You actually wrote a very powerful post. You posted a picture of yourself on the what looked like a beach, and you were on, you were wearing a
Bandstand, yes.
It was bandstand, right? You were there and you were wearing an N95 mask. Good choice of mask, by the way, full marks for that. And you spoke about how it's important and perhaps the reason why life has become so, it feels like a luxury. I want to start by bringing our viewers up to speed, because if you didn't see her post, let me read to you the first very important paragraph there. She says that I never imagined a day when the very thing we breathe to survive would become a luxury. My doors and windows would stay shut. I bought an air purifier. I moved my runs to a treadmill, staring at a wall instead of the sea. And it still isn't enough. Running, she says, is the thing that keeps me whole. It clears my head. It heals something in me that nothing else reaches. I so feel you when you say that. But now the act that I built my life around feels like it's quietly destroying me. Pollution is undoing what years of discipline and sweat and devotion built, one breath at a time. Explain to me what living with AQI means to you today.
So I just want to start with, you started saying that you're having a little bit of relief. So I want to start with that positive note, that if there is a little bit of relief with the AQI in Delhi, that's a big positive. And I
But that's
hope that
the
happens.
weather gods.
Yes. I
It's
mean,
nothing.
whoever comes to our rescue, I feel, whoever comes to our rescue, we need someone to come and rescue us urgently. So even if it's temporary for now, I'm glad there is that positivity. In Mumbai, hopefully the weather gods will also come in, because the summer is going to be scorching and things will change. But like you're saying, it's the weather gods, and this problem hasn't just happened this year. We have been seeing it for the last 2 or 3 years, because I've been running and doing endurance sport now for the last 8-10 years now. And I can see the last 2-3 years how the air keeps getting worse, November, December, Jan, when it's actually the best time to go and run weather-wise, because it's cool in Mumbai and there should be a nice breeze. And that has changed and it's become toxic air. So it's becoming impossible to go and run, because it's becoming counterproductive to run in the air that we are breathing.
Yeah, it's medically not advised to run at all. I was looking at some data of AQI in Delhi, in Mumbai, in fact, in Navi Mumbai and other areas. There are, at peak points, it has shot up to 300 and 315 places, which is shocking, right? And this means that nobody comes to your rescue. We've got to figure out our own balance. But the thing that irritates me the most, Siali, and which is my question to you as well, the thing that irritates me the most is that so far we've not seen anybody take the lead on this matter. We've not seen this being addressed as a national concern by the government. Because if there's one thing that unites us all, even the Delhi versus Mumbai battle, it's AQI. And we hear no political leader talk about it or even provide a solution. Is that the frustrating part? But we know the problem, but you're not even acknowledging it?
Oh, I understand where you're coming from, but it's no one probably is out there in the forefront, which you feel is not speaking about it. But if you speak to people around you, everyone is. Everyone is suffering, everyone is complaining. And this, again, I repeat, which I've been saying over and over, that this is a problem. It is not a political, I said it in my post as well, it's not a political thing. It's something that everyone is suffering with, because the politicians are breathing the same air, their children are breathing the same air, so are you and me. So it's a problem that everyone is facing, and everyone's health is getting damaged. So what is frustrating is that this is just getting worse, and the severity and the urgency that there should be on this matter is not coming to the forefront. Having said that, there are large amounts of people who are trying to raise objections, raise questions, and that is the citizens, I feel. And I think that's more powerful than any one big voice, because if everyone comes together saying we need to do something about this, that's when things are going to change.
I disagree with you slightly on the point when you say that politicians are also breathing the same air, because they are not. We've seen data now, we filed RTI, and we've seen how Parliament has perfect air. All offices in Delhi Secretariat, in other places, have AQI, air purifiers have been ordered. The cars have the data as well. So only if in this battle with AQI, only the affluent manage to stay alive. that's the reality. Because imagine those on the road. Imagine those who do not have the luxury to purify the air themselves. They are the ones who face it the most. And that's the voter bank, which is why I keep saying that it surprises me why politicians haven't woken up to this story. But help me understand this. Is this an active conversation amongst people in Mumbai as it has been in Delhi's case for decades now?
It most certainly is, at least in and around the circuit that I spend a lot of time with, which is not the film industry so much, because I'm talking about the running and the cycle groups that I spend time with. Because every morning there are large number of groups that are cycling to town, cycling to Navi Mumbai, because you need to do long distances, or with your runs, and everyone is facing the same issue, saying that the minute we go out and the minute we do longer distances, we have a cough, we are constantly sniffling. So every one of us is exchanging notes and saying that we are also constantly feeling this uneasiness and like a heaviness in the chest. Our breathing patterns are very different, which completely changes when you go and clean a air. So this is a discussion amongst a lot of the sporting fraternity, and we are seeing how India is becoming a fitter country, but this kind of air is going to make it very difficult.
Yeah, the problem in Mumbai is slightly different from the one in Delhi, at least. And while I say that, let me underline again for everybody watching, this is not a Delhi or Mumbai problem. Please remember that. It's a 60% of India problem. 60% of India has bad air. Largely, the spikes are in metros where the concentration is there. It's largely driven by vehicular pollution. And in Delhi's case, it is also driven by the basin that we are in. In Mumbai's case, a maximum of it is actually construction. Like they keep saying, Delhi Mumbai is actually a city always in the works. There's always some construction happening somewhere in some form or the other. I know of people in Mumbai, and correct me if I'm wrong, who shift locations, who said, Worli, there's constantly so much of construction happening that they've had to shift their houses and say that I can't live here anymore.
The thing is that there is construction always happening. The same people who say that we are moving, I understand, because it's frustrating to have constant noise around you, constant dust around you. But the truth is, everyone enjoys the coastal road. Everyone likes the road. So I am not somebody who doesn't want the development. I completely understand where that's going.
Yeah.
And we are also enjoying the perks of it. Everyone is enjoying the perks of it. But all I'm saying is that it has to be done. It comes at a cost. And are we willing to pay that cost? Are we willing to come to a middle ground is all that I'm saying, is that what is happening is the last 4 or 5 days in Mumbai, the constructions have been stopped because of the AQI levels. So if there are certain rules that are put into place and those rules have to be very, very strictly implemented, yes, it's the authorities' jobs to implement these rules, put the rules in place, change the overall, larger canvas of how pollution is such a grave problem. But at a smaller level, if you live on a certain lane and there are 5 buildings, in my lane there are 5 buildings being broken down and redeveloped, if those 5 buildings are not following the norms, I am somebody who goes to the ward and complains, saying that these buildings in my lane are not following the rules, and I am seeing authorities come the next day and make sure that that green thing, that jali thing that they put is being done and stuff. So one is that we complain saying that this is what is happening, but 2 is you have to persistently go and make sure that people are following the rules. It's frustrating because everyone has jobs. We don't have all the time in the world to keep doing this, but you have to fight for, unfortunately, clean air.
Well, this is where Mumbai wins, because in Delhi that's not possible to do. In Delhi we don't see such proactive action. And which is why last time around when Mumbai was actually spiked up, the AQI went up to about 300. There were 98 stop construction notices sent out. So Mumbai is, as a city, as culture, very proactive in taking decisions. So we really hope, I'll leave it there, that we really hope that Mumbai is able to find a solution, because Delhi clearly has taken it as, ये तो हर साल होता है, हर साल winter आएंगे, हम 4 बार इसके बारे में बात करेंगे and then we'll forget about it.
Well, I don't want to.
My hope is with Mumbai and Mumbaikars like you. I'm leaving it in your hands to solve.
Because I am somebody who's never believed in the Delhi-Mumbai fight. This problem is not just Delhi, Mumbai, it's Calcutta. My parents live in Nasik, it's Kolhapur, it's Kanpur, I was running in Bhopal, it's everywhere. The problem is very real for us everywhere. So I hope that this changes all around, because it's going to get progressively difficult to live in the country, but we have to find a solution to this, and we all need to do it together.
Yeah. And I'm glad that voices like Sayami's actually puts things in perspective. A lot of people think that it's not an issue, it's just how it is. Because, you know, the thing with air pollution is it does not impact you today, but it will strip away years of your life and quality of your life tomorrow. Because it is such a long stretch thing, people don't in fact, you know, understand the immediate impact. But I hope with voices like these, with constant attention to this, we'll be able to talk about it in much more detail. So thank you for sharing your voice, and hopefully we talk back again when we're able to find some solutions. And bravo for being that citizen to go and complain. Bravo on being the person who speaks her mind as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that conversation with Sayami Kher as far as air pollution in Mumbai city is concerned. We are shifting focus at this point in time and getting in some news. Let's take a look at these developments as far as the Prime Minister's visit also is concerned. Let's take a look at what is happening at this point in time. Right, let's talk a little about air pollution that we just got you that interview on. Mumbai for the last few days has been dealing with very poor air quality, and that is now begging the question on whether major metropolitan cities, not just that, even two-tier cities in the country are battling air pollution, and whether the air quality is only worsening over a period of time, and how it is not just a Delhi problem is what we are putting the focus on. And the various reasons for air pollution is not just, in fact, the situation, the geographical location of a place, but also various other factors like vehicular pollution and pollution from construction. More news coming in. According to sources, there is a controversy regarding content related to corruption in the judiciary mentioned in the Class 8 textbook. During the cabinet meeting held on Tuesday, Prime Minister Modi had actually expressed his displeasure, is what we are learning at this point in time. In this meeting, the Prime Minister reportedly said, and I'm going to quote, this is what we are learning from our sources. What are we teaching Class 8 students about judicial corruption? Why are we doing it? Is the question the Prime Minister is believed to have asked. We are, of course, picking this information from our sources, really. He's also asked who is overseeing all of this. That's what we are learning. Remember, there's been a big furor, and this has been playing out in court. Today also, the court came down heavily on the government and on the NCERT, issuing a show cause notice as well on a particular chapter in a textbook from NCERT that spoke about corruption within judiciary. There were murmurs around this. Finally, the apex court took cognizance, suo motu cognizance of this matter. What we're learning is that the Prime Minister had taken note of this. According to our sources, the controversy regarding content related to corruption in the judiciary mentioned in a Class 8 textbook is what not the Prime Minister really approved of. He had expressed his displeasure, is what we are learning at this point in time. Remember, the government has already said sorry in court. In this meeting, the Prime Minister said, why are we teaching or what are we teaching Class 8 students about judicial corruption? Himanshu getting in more details in that story. Himanshu, ये आपके सोर्सेस का कहना है कि प्रधानमंत्री ने पहले ही इस मैटर को नोट किया और ये एक्सप्रेस किया कि ये जो बच्चों को पढ़ाया जा रहा है क्लास 8 में, ये सही नहीं है।
देखिए, बिल्कुल प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने जो है अपनी नाराजगी कैबिनेट में भी जताई और उन्होंने पूछा एनसीईआरटी की जो 8th स्टैंडर्ड की सोशल साइंस की बुक है उसमें जुडिशरी के करप्शन को लेकर जो कहा गया है ये क्या है और क्या हम ये बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, और अगर ये है तो कौन इस पूरे मामले को देख रहा था। तो एक तरीके से नाराजगी भी जताई और उसी के बाद ये तय हो गया था कि सरकार इस पूरे मामले को लेकर सजग भी है और उसके साथ साथ जो है एनसीईआरटी की पुस्तक को जो है वो करिकुलम से हटाया जा सकता है। और फिर आज कल देर रात जो है एनसीईआरटी की तरफ से जो है वो क्लैरिफिकेशन भी आया और इस पूरी टेक्स्ट बुक को जो है वो वापस लिया गया।
जी बिल्कुल, सरकार जो है इस पूरे मामले में अपनी गलती को मान रही है, कोर्ट में भी सॉरी बताते हुए माफ़ी मांगते हुए। हिमांशु, हमने देखा है कि कोई फेस ऑफ नहीं है। गवर्नमेंट इस समय अपने आप को डिफेंड करने की भी कोशिश नहीं करी, लेकिन गलती मान के ये कह रही है कि जो ऑफिसर्स इसके लिए इंचार्ज थे उनके खिलाफ भी एक्शन लिया गया है।
देखिए, बिल्कुल जो जिन लोगों ने इसको अप्रूव किया उनके खिलाफ एक्शन हो रहा है। और सरकार को ये लगता है कि एंड ऑफ द डे कहीं ना कहीं सरकार की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी कि इस तरीके के चैप्टर जा रहे हैं। एनसीईआरटी जो है वो एक स्वायत्त संस्था है, लेकिन बच्चों को क्या पढ़ाया जा रहा है, उसका क्या करिकुलम होगा, ये तमाम इश्यूज तो थे ही। और इसी को लेकर अगर आप देखेंगे तो प्रधानमंत्री ने चिंता भी जताई थी और नाराजगी भी जताई, और उसके बाद ही जो है एनसीईआरटी हरकत में भी आई। और उसके बाद जो है एनसीईआरटी ने कल देर रात जो है स्टेटमेंट देके पूरे मामले पे सफाई भी दी और ये कहा जो लोग दोषी हैं उन पे कार्रवाई हो रही है और टेक्स्ट बुक को जो है वो करिकुलम से हटाया जाएगा।
जी, लेकिन मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी हिमांशु, ये चैप्टर 8 था एनसीईआरटी के एक टेक्स्ट ग्रेड 8 के लिए एक चैप्टर था जो करप्शन पर था और जुडिशरी के करप्शन पर था, लेकिन ऐसे कई सारे चैप्टर्स होंगे जिनमें जो कंटेंट है वो आउटडेटेड होगा और जो कि इस समय कई लोग उसे अप्रूव भी ना करें। In fact, be with us, Himanshu. We'll put out that reaction of the minister, education minister has spoken on this entire controversy. Let's take a listen.
अत्यंत चिंताजनक है। हमारे सामने ये जब संज्ञान में आया, हमने उसको तुरंत एनसीईआरटी को सारे किताबों को विड्रॉ करवाया और इसमें जो आज माननीय न्यायपालिका ने, सर्वोच्च न्यायपालिका ने जो टिप्पणी दिया है वो हमारे लिए मान्य है। सरकार उसके प्रति दायित्ववान है, मैं उसके लिए खेद प्रकट करता हूँ और एनसीईआरटी के संबंधित व्यक्तियों के ऊपर कार्रवाई भी होगी और ऐसे परिस्थिति आगे ना बने उसकी सरकार चिंता करेगी।
Education Minister, they're saying that he's sorry about what happened. I object to what has happened is what he said. Himanshu Mishra is back with us. Himanshu, मंत्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान की तरफ से भी एक बयान आया है जिसमें वो कह रहे हैं कि वो इस पर खेद प्रकट करते हैं, एंग्विश्ड है कि इस तरीके से जुडिशरी के बारे में बच्चों को पढ़ाया जा रहा है कि वो करप्ट हैं और एक परसेप्शन बनाया जा रहा है जिसके बारे में आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी बताया। आपने ये बताया कि प्रधानमंत्री खुद इससे नाराज थे।
देखिए, बिल्कुल प्राइम मिनिस्टर तो नाराज थे और उन्होंने अपनी नाराजगी भी और चिंता दोनों कैबिनेट में जाहिर भी की और उन्होंने कहा जो हम जुडिशरी में क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं, क्या जुडिशरी के करप्शन को लेकर पढ़ा रहे हैं टेक्स्ट बुक के अंदर और इस पूरे मामले को कैसे हुआ और कौन देख रहा था, तो साफ साफ जाहिर है। उसके बाद जो है सरकार भी हरकत में आई, एनसीईआरटी भी हरकत में आई और टेक्स्ट बुक को जो है करिकुलम से जो है वो हटा दिया गया। और यही कारण है कि आप देखेंगे सरकार की तरफ से बहुत तेजी से काम होता दिखा और एनसीईआरटी की कल देर रात जो है एक क्लैरिफिकेशन के साथ जो है प्रेस रिलीज आई जिसमें उन्होंने बताया जो लोग इसके लिए दोषी हैं उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई हो रही है और इसके लिए एनसीईआरटी की तरफ से जो है अपॉलॉजी भी किया गया।
लेकिन हिमांशु, इस पूरे मामले में क्या कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन किसी तरीके से कोई गवर्नमेंट इसको स्टडी करेगी, इस तरीके से गलती की हुई ऑफिसर्स ने किससे पूछ के ये चैप्टर्स को इस टेक्स्ट बुक में इंक्लूड किया, किसने इसे फाइनल क्लियरेंस दिया, क्या इस पर कोई डिटेल इन्वेस्टिगेशन होने के कोई चांसेस?
देखिए, बिल्कुल डिटेल इन्वेस्टिगेशन, क्योंकि जब एनसीईआरटी की तरफ से जो प्रेस रिलीज आई है जिसमें क्लैरिफिकेशन है कि जो लोग दोषी हैं उन पे कार्रवाई हो रही है, तो कहीं ना कहीं जो है एनसीईआरटी के अंदर जो है वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है और जो लोग दोषी हैं उन पे तो कार्रवाई होगी। उसके साथ साथ जुडिशियल करप्शन के साथ साथ इस पूरे चैप्टर में एक इशू और था कि कितने केसेस जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट या अन्य कोर्ट्स में पेंडिंग है और इस पर जो है पूर्व जस्टिस जो है सीबीआई गवाही का सोर्स है, तो वो कहाँ से आए, ये तमाम चीजें जो है वो किसने अप्रूव की, कैसे वहां से आया ये डेटा, इन सबको लेकर इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है। और अगर इन्वेस्टिगेशन जब पूरा होगा तो ये जरूर होगा कि जिन लोगों ने ये डेटा कहाँ से लिया, नहीं लिया और कैसे ये चैप्टर्स जो है टेक्स्ट बुक पे आए हैं उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई सुनिश्चित है। इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री जो है उन्होंने कैबिनेट में अगर अपनी नाराजगी और चिंता जाहिर की है और उसके बाद एनसीईआरटी भी हरकत में आई और कोर्ट तो सोमोटो लेके ही आज सुनवाई भी हुई है। कोर्ट ने खुद जानना चाहा एनसीईआरटी और सरकार से, तो ये तमाम इश्यूज हैं, लेकिन बड़ी बात यह है कि जो लोग दोषी हैं उनके ऊपर सजा उनको जरूर मिलेगी।
जी बिल्कुल, it's very important to note that the Prime Minister has taken note of this entire controversy in a cabinet meeting. That's what Himanshu is telling us, has spoken about this. I'm also going to bring in Piyush Mishra in this conversation. A pertinent question, Piyush, that the Prime Minister has asked is on who is overseeing this content as far as NCERT textbooks are concerned. I mean, these are textbooks used by CBSE, which is the central board. At the end of the day, we can't be irresponsible with the content. Grade 8 students being taught about so-called corruption in the judiciary with what the Supreme Court has said is clear bias here. Who cleared it is the big question, isn't it? The Prime Minister clearly not too happy about the situation.
Well, that's right, Sneha, and that's why he had expressed his displeasure during the cabinet meeting which took place, a couple of days back there at the new office of a Prime Minister, which is at the Seva Tirth. And during that meeting, Prime Minister did ask about who is the one who is overseeing all the developments those are taking place, who is overseeing all these chapters being included in NCERT books. After he expressed his displeasure, we also saw a note being issued by NCERT, where the education body had also, they had apologized for the entire thing. After their apology, now what we are seeing that Prime Minister is expressing. In fact, we are now getting the reports as to how the Prime Minister expressed his displeasure. Now we'll have to see how things are further going to pan out. Though NCERT has decided to rewrite the entire chapter, they have withdrawn the chapter, and they are also, in consultation with various stakeholders to ensure that such things are not repeated. A couple of minutes back, we also had the statement coming in from the Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, where he has also expressed his displeasure, and he has said that such things should not be repeated. Now we'll have to see how things are further going to pan out, but the reports which we are getting is somewhere suggesting that Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan as well as PM Narendra Modi both expressed their displeasure after this chapter was included in NCERT books.
Well, that's right. It's a huge controversy at this point in time. The Prime Minister wants accountability fixed. The court, Piyush, came down very heavily, but the government and court said, listen, this is on us. We are sorry about this. An action has been taken, but the court has already issued a show cause notice to the NCERT and to the government of this entire matter.
Well, that's right, Sneha. The Supreme Court has sought answers from both government as well as NCERT. We are already seeing how NCERT has issued a statement saying that they are rewriting the entire chapter. This entire chapter in Class 8 has already been withdrawn. They are in consultation with various stakeholders. Most likely, we will see a fresh issuance of a book of Class 8 by NCERT. On the other side, the government has also been asked to clarify about the kind of chapter points those were included in that chapter, highlighting the corruption in judiciary. So both have to now respond to the show cause notice which has been issued by a notice which has been issued by Supreme Court. We'll have to wait and watch how the government as well as NCERT are going to respond. But we are already having an official statement coming in from NCERT, and the Prime Minister, remember, in a couple of days back, had also expressed his displeasure. So the government as well as NCERT are really sorry about the fact that this chapter was included in Class 8 book. NCERT in its statement has also apologized for putting this chapter out, and now PM Narendra Modi has also expressed his displeasure, certainly telling us as to how there was an error at the part of both government as well as NCERT, and now we are seeing how things are taking a lot of developments.
That's right. Piyush talked to us about what next. Now that heads have rolled, 2 of the officers have been sacked. What about reviewing the rest of the content? Because this is a pertinent question that the Prime Minister has asked. Like I said at the outset in my conversation with you, NCERT textbooks, in fact, are used by CBSE, which is a central board. So majority of the country is looking at these NCERT textbooks. This is very, this is a very, I would say, maybe an irresponsible sort of a thing that has happened here. We don't know just yet. Would there be detailed investigations? Would there be a further review? What is it that you're picking from your sources within the Education Ministry, given that the Minister also has stepped out and said that this is something that we are objecting to?
Well, sir, Sneha, there is no doubt that investigation will not take place. Yes, the Education Minister who was in Jharkhand today has already made it very clear that the government is sorry about this, and the kind of statements which have come from both NCERT and government certainly suggesting that the chapters will be rewritten, and it will be investigated as to how this chapter was even included in the NCERT book.
Right.
What we are learning is that there will be further consultation with various other stakeholders who are responsible for putting out the final chapters in NCERT, and after having further consultations, a new chapter will be added in NCERT book. But before that, we are already seeing how government as well as NCERT have put forth their views. We'll have to see how the court will look into the kind of issuance of apology coming in from both the sides.
Piyush, be with us. I'm just going to come back to you in a moment from now. We are keeping our eyes firmly on that big developing story. Remember, today, amid this ongoing controversy over the NCERT book, the centre has issued an unconditional apology on behalf of the Ministry of Education. Supreme Court issued a show cause notice of contempt to the NCERT Director, School Education Secretary to explain why action should not be taken. The Apex Court took strong objection to Class 8 Social Science textbook recently released by the NCERT, which carried a section on corruption in judiciary. A bench of CGI Suryakant and Justices Joy Malia Bagchi and Vipul M. Pancholi have ordered a blanket ban on the publication of Class 8 textbook, further ordering the centre to ensure all hard and soft copies, including digital copies, be taken down. The top court has issued a show cause notice of contempt to Education Ministry NCERT, observing that this issue was an outcome of deep-rooted conspiracy to defame the judiciary. 2 government officials have been sacked who were responsible for printing of the chapter. The Chief Justice Suryakant has noted that judiciary was bleeding and said that the kids must not be exposed to a biased narrative. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has spoken to India Today and promised action against officials responsible. He's also said there was no intention to insult the judiciary and that the court's order will be complied with. The NCERT has apologized for what they say was purely unintentional inclusion of inappropriate material in a Class 8 social science textbook after the Supreme Court's criticism. NCERT has said the error was purely unintentional and that the NCERT regretted the inclusion of inappropriate material in the chapter.
What we are seeing, the Class 8th book, and that's a social science subject that we see, and the book title, Exploring Social India and Beyond. And the moment we go, that was chapter 6, where there was the amendment were done, and this is the parliamentary system and legislature and executive. And exactly in the para, the page 15, because it was supposed to be even published at least online for the students, but since the controversy breaks out, the NCERT goes on back foot, and this is the chapter. That's the previous chapter, the judiciary role of checks and balances, where it talks about judiciary, the branch of government that is responsible for interpreting and applying the laws of the land, including in specific cases of dispute. Judiciary functions through the system of courts and plays a pivotal role in maintaining democratic nature of society and governance. Now, what happens is that for the next curriculum from this academic year, the amendment that was suggested that also defined the role of judiciary and talking about corruption in the judiciary and the pending cases and interpreting that how these two, the components including the corruption in judiciary and the delay pending cases are somewhere disrupting the justice system. Now, there was objections were raised. The Supreme Court even expresses unhappiness, even taking suo motu cognizance. So, what we see due to that, the syllabus, the amendment that was done in the 6th chapter has been withdrawn. Even the NCERT on the website goes further and seeks an apology. This is the press release issued by the NCERT.
अत्यंत चिंताजनक है. हमारे सामने ये जब संज्ञान में आया, हमने उसको तुरंत एनसीईआरटी को सारी किताबों को विड्रॉ करवाया और इसमें जो आज माननीय न्यायपालिका ने, सर्वोच्च न्यायपालिका ने जो टिप्पणी दिया है वो हमारे लिए मान्य है. सरकार उसके प्रति दायित्ववान है. मैं उसके लिए खेद प्रकट करता हूँ और एनसीईआरटी के संबंधित व्यक्तियों के ऊपर कार्रवाई भी होगी और ऐसे परिस्थिति आगे ना बने उसकी सरकार चिंता करेगी.
The Supreme Court has taken this episode very seriously and an order for inquiry has been made. The learned Solicitor General, he was personally present in the court. He was very positive about it. He also said that we are going to find out who is responsible for this, and the man, he will be nabbed and appropriate action, serious action will be taken against him. Therefore, it's a very good order today passed by the Honorable Apex Court. They have asked that it should not be published further, and whatever books have been released, they should be withdrawn.
Now, I want to ask the Chief Justice, why did he not take suo motu cognizance when Himanta Biswa Sharma, there's a video of Himanta Biswa Sharma taking a gun and shooting Muslims. That is where he's got to take suo motu cognizance. When that case came to Supreme Court, he chucks it and says, let it go to the Assam High Court. We all know what happened in Rwanda. Leon Mugaresai, a leader, politician in 1992, said that we, the Houthis, should break the neck of the Tutsis before they break our necks. Why not take suo motu cognizance on something so important as this? I want to ask Justice Suryakant on this particular, Chief Justice Suryakant, on why he did not take suo motu cognizance on that video which came out.